Alright, ready?
Yep.
Hello and welcome to episode 35 of the Nerds at Large Gaming Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Darby Hallman.
I'm Jeff Mayo.
And this was a very eventful week for games, Jeff.
And for our lives, because school sucks.
God, yeah.
But I'm done.
You're done, Jeff.
I'm free.
Congratulations.
For a month.
This week, the Game Awards and PSX, they're both behind us, or at least the news part of PSX is behind us.
Some stuff could come out. I mean, we got a Ghost of Tsushima panel today.
Right. Yeah. Or at least part of PSX is gone, but we have more than enough news to fill a
and
podcast.
Some people were like, hey, let's announce some games outside of this stuff.
I guess this was just general, like, crazy games weekend. Like, everyone's just like, let's all do our announcements.
It's not at the level, but this is like a mini E3 week.
And it's growing more and more that way. Like, this Game Awards time right here, like, Game Awards / PSX time is becoming almost comparable to E3 as far as announcements.
Hey, I'm okay if we have like a week of that like every 6 months.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
They're like perfectly spaced out.
Yeah.
Where it feels
it's exactly
good.
6 months.
Yeah, it's like it's not too soon to where like you feel like you just had it, but it's not like too far away. It's just right there. And then another 6 months we'll have E3. And the endless cycle. It's the circle of life, Jeff.
Circle. Circle of Dragons.
Circle of Dragons. I guess so. Let's just. All right. I don't have anything to talk about what I've been playing. You said you want to talk about Xenoblade a little bit.
Yeah, this will be really quick.
The floor is open for
just
you.
do my general update things.
Yeah.
Despite me having exams, I played a fair amount of Xenoblade this past week. I'm now 18 hours into it. But my grades are not fine. I played it mostly on handheld because I was at school. If you've been paying attention to people talking about this game, you'll say the handheld is. You probably heard the handheld's not great.
Right.
They're kind of right. It's not like it goes down a good bit. It's probably the biggest downgrade and quote unquote ugliest of handheld things, but I think it's fine for the most part. I mean, I've mentioned this many times. I have more of a tolerance thing. I don't need things to look as good or the best it can be as as much as other people, which is fine.
Yeah.
But it ran fine for me. I mean, it runs fine. Like, there were a couple drops here and there in the bigger areas, but that's going to happen with big open world things.
So there was more drops in, like, handheld mode?
I think
usually it's the other way around, usually with Switch.
I'm honestly not sure. I may need to... I don't pay attention to that stuff much anyway, I mean, I'm just saying there are some. Yeah. And there's some weird pop-in things, like when you... fast travel to a place far away, it takes a while for textures and even stuff to load in, which, I mean, it loads it quickly. It's not that big of a deal, but it's just something weird I guess you don't see too much.
Yeah.
But again, I think the overall hand thing looks fine, especially if you just feel like playing it there. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Okay.
I mean, the people saying it looks like kind of maybe a PS3 game or whatever, PS2, whatever, kind of true. But I think it looks better than that, partly because of the art style is not as...
Yeah. It's more stylized than it is.
I think the open world overall looks really good on the handheld.
Yeah.
Again, maybe because I had lower expectations of it anyway, but the cutscenes look really good and everything. Again, it runs fine, so that's good. And I'm liking the game a lot. I'm enjoying the story. The characters are fun. And the whole... because this is the big thing, I just feel like I gotta talk about the whole Pyra design thing. And people talking about they always like focus on her accents. I really don't think. I think that has been overblown a little bit.
Right.
Like how they focus on it, and that's my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, it is not that it makes an excuse for it, but like almost every JRPG I've played is like that, at least in some way.
We play Tales games.
It goes into that realm in some ways, and I want it to change. I'm not saying it's something good, but
And the battle system is fun as hell. It's complicated as hell, and I love it.
Good.
I love little gotcha things. It makes the thing exciting when I actually get like a rare blade.
Nice. Yeah. So take that, Jason Schreier. I'm just kidding. We love you, Jason.
No, I think his opinions are valid. I mean, I always have this opinion, like even when we're talking about Zelda and Mario. This game is not for everyone. Like this game in particular more so. I get why people don't like it.
The problems that he and other people have addressed are just JRPG problems, which is, again, it's not making excuses for it. It's just You have to know that going in. You have to know if you're.
I have no problem with you saying you don't like a game. I have a problem when people say, no, I don't like it, so this game's just bad.
If you have no reason, you have no good reason for it. Like, I can disagree with you, but if you, like, support, it's fine. Yeah. All right, Jeff, well, let's move into the Game Awards. They were this week. And I just kind of want to, at first, just talk to you about how you feel about it. I thought it was awesome. Yes. I think that
best year by far.
This award, like, it's getting better and better every single year.
Keighley is listening,
and I feel like Keighley's finally starting to like strike the balance between, you know, a serious award show that can make the games industry, like, from outsiders, like movie people or whatever, like Oscars and everything, they can make the gaming industry look more serious and like something that they actually need to look towards. But at the same time, he's making it's not like too stuffy. It's not like the Oscars where it's all like, you know, suit and tie and just all fancy and everything. We still have crazy announcements, have all this other stuff, and like things, you know, microtransaction jokes, all these things that, you know, gamers will understand. It's a good balance between the two, and I think the promotional stuff wasn't as overbearing this year.
Yeah. I was actually surprised when, you know, reading on like Resetera and stuff like that, how many people complained about the ads. Some people, it's like they were complaining about them being there in general. It's like, how's this thing going to get paid for?
That is one of my pet peeves, just in general.
Yeah.
I see it a lot when people talk about it with podcasts and with all other things.
Yeah.
People act like there's like 1 20-second ad and they'll like lose their minds. They're like, there's ads all over the place or whatever. You understand you're getting this for free, right? Like, these people have to pay for this somehow.
Yeah.
And like, it's always kind of bugged me. You're getting this service for free. You can deal with 20 seconds of ad. Yeah. You can deal with a little bit of this, because you have to understand that's how this stuff. They're not doing this. This is not a charity. They have to make money doing these things, and that's how they make money. If you don't want that, then you're going to have to pay for it, and you're going to be more mad about that.
Yeah, I saw some people saying this is pretty much a 2-hour ad or whatever. It's like, well, I guess depending how you look at it, kind of is.
I mean, if you look
but just because of like the ads, like the McDonald's ads and the eBay ads and all that kind of stuff. But it kind of is because the awards are kind of a way an advertisement for the games winning, and then the trailers and stuff. But that's not what they meant.
Right? Yeah. And some people have criticized. Like, there's people in different camps of this.
Yeah.
Some people think that the awards should be just about the awards and no, like, not any of this like promotional for new games coming out in the future and everything. And it's like, I get that, but no one would watch it. That's the DICE Awards, and no one watches them. Yeah. At the end of the day, like, Keighley has to do something. Like, it's shown. We have many years showing that people aren't going to watch it if it's just an award show. Mm-hmm. You got to have these, you know, these announcements.
This year did.
And it did, but the beauty of it is that I think Keighley is he is striking a great balance of it now. Like, there's, you know, award and people actually get to speak. Like, people like got a good amount of time to speak and everything. And there was some heartfelt stuff in there and good stuff and crazy stuff like that shadow drop, like with Nintendo. You know?
I'm not jealous of Keighley for this, because you hear about the complaints from, like you said, different camps. People like, people saying like, it's too long, and in the same sentence saying like they don't show enough awards on stage. It's like,
right,
you can't have both in this, unfortunately.
You can't please everyone.
Yeah, you can't have the awards part without the game reveal part. And I understand the criticism of the whole just dropping like so-and-so one just out of nowhere and doing those in quick succession. That thing I get, but at the same time, it's hard to.
I mean, even the Oscars does that. I mean, like, the Oscars, like, they'll be like, this award, and they'll be like, they also won this, and this.
Yeah, well, I agree with that, but, you know, like, Persona winning RPG, spoilers. Sorry. We're going to go into the winners later, but they dropped them with a couple other games, like when, I can't remember the context, they just said, like, Persona won Best RPG, and then blah, 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 blah.
There was definitely a few of them that felt like it was almost swept under the rug. It was like an afterthought. It was like, and then, you know,
Again, I'm not jealous because this thing was pretty long, and I'm okay with the length, honestly.
My one complaint, I do like, as much as I did like this show, I still think there is a little bit of fat that needs to be trimmed off. It was, I mean, I think 3 hours is a little too long, which it was roughly. Like, I know it was a little less than that.
I don't watch the award show, but from what I understand, that's like the other award shows. I guess there's that.
I mean, it did feel long to me.
Yeah.
I mean, that is my only, and it's not like I don't know where exactly to fix it, and it's not like it's a problem. I enjoyed it throughout. I do think it's a little long, not too much, but really overall.
Again, that's one of those things. I'm not jealous of Keeley having to figure this out because you got the awards and stuff, you got the game announcements, and you have the ads you have to do. That all kind of just adds up.
Yeah. But it really is like it's kind of remarkable. It wasn't it 2015 was the monstrous, terrible Joel McHale PGX. I'm almost certain, or maybe that was 2014 or something.
Wait,
no, that was
okay.
That was 2014 because 2015. Yeah, all right. Anyway.
Correct me. Did Joel McHale ever do it when it was the Game Awards, or did he just do the VGX?
It was VGX. It was Game Awards has been Keeley only.
Okay, yeah.
No, 2015 was when Greg Miller won, so that wasn't that. It was either 2013 or 2014.
It started it would have been like 2013.
Point is, not that long ago, and that was a absolute train wreck. And the fact that Keeley has been able to, and Keeley was always the one that was trying to do it. Like you could tell that he cared about this, just no one else did.
Yep.
And it's been an awesome story to see him every year get better and better, and get this to like I think we're getting very close to his vision of this.
And and it'll just continue getting bigger because developers will see how this does. Like with just looking from the announcement standpoint, there were a lot of great announcements there. People loved it and stuff. Yeah. And there's some pretty big announcements. They were received well and everything. Yeah, so more developers will do this.
They're buying into it. Like everyone's in on this now. Yeah. Like it's like we're saying it's almost like an E3 because everyone's okay with like Nintendo's there, Sony's there, Microsoft is kind of there, and everyone's like putting their big guns out here. Yeah, and I think that going forward, it's only gonna get bigger.
Yeah, I think the transition may already happen, but someone pointed it out. On different things that I agree with. Like originally, I imagine, and this is all just assumption on my part, Keeley probably had to ask and / beg people to have something to show there. Now it's getting closer to the point. It's probably the other way around. Like, hey, Keeley, can we show this thing at the Game Awards? Yeah. Because I might be wrong on this, but just from looking at the crowd, I feel like the room was more packed this year than previous year. Previous year was pretty empty,
right?
On some places, but I feel like this was more full.
Well, think about it. This probably was a hard sell to these companies before. When if you poor Keeley, but his track record technically was not good because the old Spike TV ones were terrible. So like nowadays, developers are like, I don't want to be a part of that. So he had to prove himself to get to this point. Mm-hmm. But like next year, it's just going to be even bigger. I mean, we're gonna it's another E3, and I love it because and I just love that it's a great celebration of all these people. You see, What Remains of Edith Finch people up there, and Melina from Hellblade, getting choked up and being it's great. It's great to be able to see these people that don't normally get the spotlight, and
And we'll get into the whole PSX thing later, but part of me kind of hopes. I mean, my opinion on it, I guess technically it doesn't matter if it's for the Sony stuff for PSX. Matters is that Paris Games Week or this. We technically will get all the announcements anyway at some point. But I'd kind of like it to be PSX just because then we had Game Awards and PSX back to back. That just makes the week even better. You know what I'm saying? I mean, imagine if Paris Games Week didn't happen, but then we got Ghost of Tsushima right after the Game Awards.
I wish it definitely almost seemed like Game Awards sucked something out of PSX and left PSX this dead husk. It was kind of one-sided between the two things this year. All right, well, do you want to
let's go to the awards, Darby?
Yeah, we're just going to talk about some of the winners, and then we got to get into the news because there was lots of announcements. Oh boy,
this could be a good one.
Yes.
Yeah. So no main topic unless you consider this main topic. Okay. Yeah, we'll just start from the top. Game of the year: Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Zelda.
Well deserved.
Oh,
I like it.
Makes sense. Definitely mine.
Yeah. We talked about it. Wasn't sure who's actually winning this. Or I know we picked Legend of Zelda to win, probably, but we didn't know. Can Mario pull it out?
I definitely was not I didn't think it was a sure thing. This is what I expected, but there was going into it. It was who knows? Mario came out recent. There's that recency thing, and they could have split the vote and gave it to Horizon.
I get what you mean by the recent thing, but. And just hear me out.
On a normal year, the recency thing is a thing. This year, it didn't feel like it.
I feel like with Zelda, in a way, the whole it coming out early might have helped it. I mean, it obviously hurt games in the past.
It has. Yeah.
But I feel like people kept on talking about Zelda throughout the year. pretty much as the game came out, they were like, "This is the game of year / game of the year."
It's kind of a testament to how good it was that it remained in the conversation.
So for some people, it's like, "Well, yeah, it's gonna be Zelda." That probably influenced some people there. Yeah, but all these games are great.
Oh, they're not a bad one in the bunch.
Best game direction, Zelda. Which I think that's what I'm gonna try to remember what we said, but I'm gonna I think we said that just based off how they described the category. Best narrative, Remains of Edith Finch. That was a surprise.
It was a huge surprise, and I love it. Like that's what I voted for. I never would have thought that it won, but I love it.
I expected I think we've expected Horizon. I think.
Yeah. But Giant Sparrow, I think this is bigger for Giant Sparrow than it would have been for Gorilla, with all respect, because like Giant Sparrow is a lot smaller, and there's a lot of people like, oh, I've never played this game, I guess I'll check it out now, so lots of that. So
I voted for it because it's the only game I played.
Very happy about that.
Oh yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. I know some people wanted Nier to win, but just the way it goes. Best art direction, Cuphead. Not much more to say about that. I could have seen Persona potentially winning, but I don't think it was going to be anything but Cuphead. Best score / music, Nier Automata. Not surprised there at all. Like, there are I saw a lot of people like, if Nier's going to win anything, it better be best music.
Yeah, I've heard lots of that. This is just a game we need to get to at some point.
I have it, so whenever we get best audio design, Hellblade. Like
there was no other option. Believe me, if you haven't played it, trust me.
I feel like for a lot of people that was more of a case. As long as you heard what the game is, you voted for, even if you didn't play it.
Yeah, there's no other option.
We're going through this stuff pretty quickly. Best performance, Melina Juergens. I'm not sure. From Hellblade as Senua.
Also, it was just I think that was the best speech of the night. Like I think she was. In her mocap suit that she walked up there. And
I can't remember what I think you said you.
I voted for her, but
I mean,
I think
I think I just sustained.
I might I need to go back. I hope I'm right, but I think I might have said that I expected.
I feel
her
like
to
you
win
did, but
because I thought would have been.
I wasn't sure, but I feel like I said it was probably gonna be like.
We'll roll the tape back.
Yeah, Laura Bailey or Ashley Birch.
Yeah,
I feel like that's why I said thought would win.
Yeah, but. I feel like this was just Hellblade's year, and everyone here knew it. Hellblade, like I said, it's like that Oscar, that artsy movie, Moonlight or whatever, from Oscars last year that like not many people saw, but it's gonna win because
Games for Impact, Hellblade.
Same reasons.
Yep.
Same thing. Yeah.
Yep. There were some other good ones than that.
I was right. I was right that Hellblade was gonna walk out of here with lots of awards, and I was definitely right about that.
Talk about how many compared to other ones at the end. But yeah, there was some good ones in that category, like we said earlier. Night in the Woods, Life is Strange, What Remains of Edith Finch. So that's such a good category. And, of course, Please Knock on My Door and Bury Me Alive, I'm sure, are great games.
Yeah, yeah.
Best ongoing game, Overwatch. I don't know how surprised I am about that one. Party surprised there wasn't PUBG, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it's just because the crowd here is more into Overwatch. I think that's kind of what the end of the day.
I can't even remember what I said before I went. I might have said Overwatch, but I feel like part of the reason Overwatch might have won it for some people is because it has been out longer than a lot of these games, so it's still the way it is.
It has a very dedicated fan base.
Yeah, PUBG's technically not proven as far as the long-term stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be, but
And there was still that section of people who were almost protest voting, saying that it shouldn't be in here at all. Yeah, PUBG. That's true. But any of those could have been factors in those.
Yes. Best mobile game, Monument Valley 2.
Moving on.
Yeah. Surprised not. Mario's Fire Emblem. Best handheld game, Metroid Samus Returns.
I'm going to play it at some point.
Yep.
I'm going to get to it.
I'm not surprised at that one.
No.
But I just find it funny all 5 games are from Nintendo. Yeah. Nintendo was going to win a reward either way. Best VR/AR game, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. It had a...
It's the full game. It's the game. Yeah.
So, let's go. Best action game, Wolfenstein 2.
I'm glad Wolfenstein got something somewhere.
Yeah. I figured it's gonna either be that or Cuphead.
Yeah.
I could have seen Neo as a dark horse. Best action/adventure game, Zelda. Of course.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Best role-playing game, Persona 5.
Awesome. I was so worried that Persona 5 was gonna walk away with nothing, and I'm glad they got.
Again, we mentioned it. Me and Darby mentioned before the podcast. The only ones I could have seen potentially being Persona was Divinity: Original Sin 2 and Nier Automata.
Yeah.
But I'm like 90% sure Persona 5 was going to win.
I think a lot of people probably had the same mindset that I just said. They're like, Persona 5 needs something.
Yeah. Best fighting game, Injustice 2. No surprise there.
Nope.
It's just the most popular one here. And people really do like it. And yeah. I would have left though a Nidhogg 2 one. We need to get that. Best family game, Super Mario Odyssey.
And the only one it won. The only award that Super Mario Odyssey won. It's just this year, man. This year is just so good.
It feels weird, but yeah. Best strategy game, Mario + Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Let's go.
Everyone thought this game was going to be a joke.
But it's great.
Or that the game was a joke, period. Like, it didn't exist.
And we got a versus mode. Yes, for free. No DLC.
Very nice.
Best sports racing game, Forza Motorsport 7. Yeah.
We probably only really have indie left to talk about, right? As far
Best
as
multiplayer.
Oh, okay.
PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
So PUBG got something.
Yeah, I mean, this one was weird because they never announced it there, and they had everything up, but it took them over a day to put this one up.
This feels like it was one of the bigger categories. This feels like it should have been on the stage. That was definitely weird.
And I'm not surprised PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds won.
No.
I would have liked Splatoon 2 one like Splatoon did.
No, I think it should be PUBG with how people have sunk 400 plus hours into this freaking game.
No, I honestly would have been surprised if it was not PUBG. Most anticipated game, Last of Us Part 2. Mm-hmm. I know we talk about this is just categories shouldn't exist. I still find it weird Last of Us Part 2's in there when it's the only one that's not guaranteed announced for next year.
I mean, it's mostly just hype. It's just the hype award.
I know. Probably win next year too. Best indie game, Cuphead.
You represent.
I'm not surprised, but best indie category, like other than, I feel like that was the tightest group of games. Like anyone can win between Cuphead, Pyre, Night in the Woods, Remains of Edith Finch, and Hellblade.
Pretty stacked.
Yeah, I'd say let's say one of the more stacked categories.
Increasingly every year, just indie games are becoming just the best games. Like some of the best games of the year are indie games at this point.
Oh, that reminds me. I mean, you mentioned it. Pyre's on sale for like $12.
I got it.
Okay.
I couldn't. I had it.
I got Hellblade. I'll wait on Pyre. Best student game, Level Squared. Trending gamer, Dr. Disrespect.
Yeah, pour one out for Andrew. I mean, we always say because me and Jeff are pretty big Kind of Funny fans, so and I haven't really watched any Dr. Disrespect, but I saw like a little YouTube highlight thing of him the other day, and the dude is funny as hell.
I texted this to you when the time was like, when I heard all these people are good people.
They're all great. Oh yeah, I mean like Steven Spawn, Able Gamers does amazing stuff. Like they're all great. Yeah. Even being nominated in this is great. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was the Game Award winners.
Yeah. Oh, we still got a couple more.
We do. Do we have more interesting ones?
Best eSport game, Overwatch.
Me and you are not esports.
Best debut indie game, Cuphead. The only one I feel like possibly could have won
Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best Chinese game? Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Those are the winners. A couple fun facts.
Okay. Hit us, Jeff. Hit us with the fun facts.
We have a three-way tie for the most awards. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Cuphead, and Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice.
All at 3, right?
Yes.
3 awards.
I'm not surprised by that, actually, thinking about it.
No, those were the ones that I kind of thought might run away with a bunch of different categories.
Yeah, Zelda, because it's... it's one of those things. You look at the categories, like, some of these, these games have to win in this category.
Yeah.
Zelda was the more questionable one out of those, surprisingly.
And that's what, I knew Hellblade was going to win so many categories. It was just, the categories lined up with the things that Hellblade did right. There happens to be multiple awards for the things that Hellblade did right, where it comes to audio design and actress and everything and impact. Whereas we talk about Mario, I think Mario is a far superior game to Hellblade. It's just the categories don't line up with there's not as many categories that
Mario is more it's a great game, so they had to put it in something. There's no genre category.
If there was a platformer category or something, I don't know. There would have to be. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just the categories don't line up very well for Mario.
Yeah, and that goes to my second main thing: Horizon Zero Dawn did not win a single award.
Which, God, it feels bad. It feels wrong, but it's just this year, man. Yeah. This year is just so good. If this was any normal year, Horizon would have ran away with this.
Yeah, it's the thing, and I'm gonna say the same thing about Mario. If it was any other year, both those games would have won a lot of awards.
If you could just if you played Mario in a vacuum, and then you were like, yeah, that did not win Game of the Year, you'd be like, what? But it's just 2017 is insane. Yeah,
kind of thing. Horizon, it does a lot of things very well, but I guess arguably it did not do those things the best. At least the categories.
And the best is so relative. And it's just speaking from someone who I absolutely loved Horizon. Like Horizon was one of the games I had not, up until that point. Now Zelda has taken me more, but until that point, I had not fallen into a game that deep in a long time. And the story was just as it unwound, and I didn't expect the story to be that great, and then it was phenomenal. Horizon is incredible, but we did our picks the other week, and I didn't vote for it for a single thing. Yep. It's just the way it works this year, and people just need to realize this is not the be all end all. This is just the awards. You can have your own thing. It's not like Horizon got they didn't get completely thrown under the bus with this. Horizon's a great game, and even being nominated in this year is a feat.
Well, so I'll say this: I don't know the exact amount, but I felt like our choices for who would win were pretty accurate overall. I think there were a couple misses, but
I feel like we should probably go back through and look, but I feel like we were. So I'm gonna say we were.
I know mobile game we got wrong, but other than that,
yeah.
Okay, so we move on, Darby.
Yes, Jeff. Are we going into the Game Award news?
We're going into the Game Award news. Jingle, jangle.
Thank you, Jeff. Yeah, I didn't even tell you to do it.
Okay, so we're going to go into Game Award reveals, and we're going to PSX reveals, and then all the other stuff that happened outside of that stuff. So we got a lot.
Strap in.
Yes. For the Game Awards stuff, none of this is in any particular order. I didn't feel like going to look to see what the order and stuff was. Fine, we're just going. I kind of structured it. First thing, we got a Death Stranding trailer, Darby.
Oh, that's what we're starting out with. Oh boy.
It's Talk to the Town. And it was so good they showed it at PSX as well.
They showed the whole thing at PSX?
They showed the whole thing. We're like, are they really doing this?
Do you think anyone in this crowd has not seen this?
Exactly. I was like, are they really doing this? Okay.
You're really showing us an 8 minutes long.
Yeah. Really showing us an 8-minute trailer again?
Okay. I can't word it any better than I put a tweet out that night. Death Stranding, I think, it's teetering right there on the edge of abstract creativity and then just complete nonsense and pointless nonsense.
Let's go to complete nonsense. Let's just
it'll be interesting to see which side it falls. Either way, I'm in. I'm in for the weird ride we have going on here.
This is Kojima Unchained.
This has almost gotten at first I was with everyone else saying don't show any more of this. You're just showing too much stuff before we even this is not a game yet. This is not anything yet. We don't know anything about this yet. But
actually, it is playable.
At this point, I think it just Kojima's doing something different. It's he's gonna keep doing these weird little things until I think the parody Twitter account the CEO Kaz Hirai said that Kojima is just gonna keep putting out increasingly weird videos for the next 5 years until he realized that he was never actually making a game.
This is all an epic troll.
Yeah.
And Sony's funding it.
But at this point, I'm kind of expecting, I'd be honestly surprised if this game ends up having any sort of typical story. I think it's going to be almost complete surrealism, which I'm kind of there for.
Okay, now I'm going to say this real quick. It was kind of weird when we talked about our hype levels for the Sony exclusives, however long that ago was.
Yeah, a few weeks.
I think none of us had Death Stranding that high. Mm-hmm. It was kind of somewhere in the middle. This got me more excited for it, strangely, even though we said we did not want to see anymore.
It's so weird to say my interest is through the roof.
Yeah.
Because of how could you not be? Yeah. After seeing whatever that was, how could you not at least there's no way you see that and go, this is boring. It's no, I want to know what the hell is going on with these fetus baby things and astronaut suits and weird giant monsters. Yeah, I don't understand it. I'm also not going to sit here and be like, oh, yes, day one buy or something like that. Like, this is not a game. We don't know remotely what this is yet.
I got to wait till it starts over. Okay. I'm sorry, people. This doesn't help you. Watch this, Darby.
Yes.
Okay.
If it wasn't my finals week, I would say I would commit to just putting that into the video, but I'm not going to have time to do that. It was a funny video. Anyway. Do you have anything?
Just Mr. Seeing more about it. Apparently some of like the I think it's from the PSX thing, the Norman Reedus like kind of swimming around. That's apparently playable. Like you play that part.
Okay.
So no, this is gonna be a really weird game. I'm interested to hear more. And who knows when we'll see it? Could be at E3. Could not be till the next Game Awards.
He might just keep doing these.
I'm going to make a prediction. This is going to be Game Awards next year. I feel like that's just going to be a yearly thing till it comes out.
I think so too. And as long as you're just showing these weird videos, it's like you're not really who knows? It's just like it'll be a running joke almost. It's like, well, it's time to.
I'm interested to see people's analyzing this stuff, what they got of it.
I wonder if anyone has figured anything out at this point because I don't have the slightest clue, and neither does Norman Reedus.
No. Norman Reedus I'm just along for the ride. I just love Kojima's bromances with everyone.
Oh, it's so great. It's so funny. It's so funny.
There's a bromance with literally everyone.
With so many people. He just goes out there with Guillermo and goes out there with Norman Reedus. It's just anyone.
And that's tearing up.
Everyone loves Kojima.
It's tearing Jeff up. So that could be me.
I expected at the end of them they're gonna have to all fight to the death for his affection, but apparently not. Maybe that's next time.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Dreams.
It exists.
Yep. We got two things. We got the little trailer thing at Game Awards, and they went a little more in depth with it at PSX, which was badly edited because during a lot of the gameplay sections they were showing the couch. People on the couch, which was just awful. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. But the only, general main details, we got a general 2018 release date.
Yeah, no solid date, but
and they've talked about this multiple times. That they don't want to give solid dates until they were absolutely sure, which I'm okay.
That's
with.
fair. Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair. It's a little annoying to us, I know, but
no, I don't want to complain too much about that because I would rather people wait until they're ready. I'm not really saying it's a bad thing on their part. I was just hoping that we were at a point where it's oh yeah, this game's pretty much done. We're just sitting on it and we're almost ready. It's obviously not there yet, which is fine. I was just hoping that it would be. But
I feel pretty good that it's going to come out late 2018. People are wondering why isn't it coming out early 2018, that mean a bad thing. But if we look at what Sony has right now, they got so much stuff they got planned for early. We got Shadow of the Colossus, we got God of War, we got Spider-Man, we got Detroit. Save some stuff for later in the year. Yeah, and this would be all right, so there's two things. Number one, I think you're a little more positive on this than me. I'm very interested in I think the potential is crazy, but I worry about them even coming close to what they're promising. Mm-hmm. This is kind of seeming like a No Man's Sky situation again for me, where whenever you ask anyone from Media Molecule questions about Dreams, they're just kind of you can do anything, you can do everything. It's just it's all these kind of vague it's the sky is the limit, but it's okay, no, it's still a video game. There are walls that I'm going to hit. There's limitations to how I can create things in this, and you're not telling me what those are. So that makes me worry that I'm going to hit those walls sooner than I think. And No Man's Sky showed us if you let the fans use their imagination for what's going to be in the game, your game's going to underperform to their expectations. That's how it's going to happen. So I just wish that when they ask them questions, they had more concrete things to say back, and that worries me that they don't. Yeah, I hear. Well, okay, here's one good thing. We'll have to wait and see. Dreams has a panel today.
That's good. That is good. Yeah. But, yeah.
So maybe we'll get some more answers there. And, part of that could be because of a time thing and, the whole panel and everything, and it's a long way away. But, I hear what you're saying. But I feel pretty good about this. I don't think it's going to be like the crazy thing. You can do literally anything or whatever in it. But what they show off is pretty good because they're varying art styles. And I think there are a bunch of different gameplay styles they showed off. So it may not, even if it doesn't live up to the hype they're setting, I think it's going to be pretty, it could be pretty damn good and still, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even if it's going to be more simple than what they're saying. That's just the nature of how this works. But
and I'm happy to see kind of like what Super Mario Maker, I think this was announced, but they kind of showed it off a little bit at PSX, that there is like a quote-unquote story mode, single-player stuff with stuff they created, which makes me happy. So we get something right off the way if you get the game, and then you can play other people's stuff, which has me excited. Yeah. And then we can mess around and do some stuff with it. I am very interested in this game.
I am too. Number 2, though, in my worries, I'm just worried this thing's not going to sell well, and my main concern is if it doesn't, I think Media Molecule's dead. They're like right on the chopping block, I feel like. They haven't put out a game in so long, and they haven't had a hit since the PS3, since like one of the Little Big Planets. Like I
want to say one.
Honestly,
maybe 2.
I don't think any of the other
2D decent just because people loved creating levels on that thing.
Yeah.
But
that was a complete different time, and I just feel like...
I just looked just for the heck of it. Tearaway, the original one, I'm not counting the PS4 version. I know that took some work, but it was kind of a port with some... It was like 1.5, kind of. It came out in 2013.
Okay.
So,
but obviously, Tearaway did not perform very well.
Yeah.
I know. We love Tearaway, but it did not... I'm just talking about the... viability of them, and I don't want that to happen because Media Molecule, they're such creative people. They kind of make like weird games, and I love that. I want that. Sony is increasingly, as the PS4 gets more and more successful, they're becoming more AAA and more safe. And in the PS3, when they had nothing to lose and everything to gain, they were doing all these weird things, Little Big Planet, all these weird first parties and stuff, but they're kind of backing away from that. And I feel like Media Molecule is one of the holdouts, and if Dream does not perform to at least some base level, I worry about their future.
It's one of those things, because we don't know about all this stuff, like what the budget is for all this stuff and what the expectations are in sales.
It's just after all this time, the budget has to build up, even if the budget wasn't originally big. Like something went wrong in Dream's development. I think that's abundantly clear, just with how long it's taken, and that adds up money.
Yeah, I will say this: I see a lot of people like unsarcastically and somewhat sarcastically, like, what is this game? Like, what's the point of this game? Like, that's kind of the point of it. There is no point to it. You just kind of create whatever, but
that's hard to sell.
I know.
Yeah. I don't have the problem. I'm just saying that is very hard to sell.
No, that's what excites me because I want to see what people come up with. Right. They're very creative people out there.
Yeah. I mean, Mario Maker cannot have a set direction that's going, but everyone knows it's Mario, so it works. Dreams, it's a lot harder to sell when you do this. But
2D Mario is 2D Mario, but yeah. Dreams... There's racing in there. There's RPGs and stuff. They're platformers. Okay.
We got a lot of talk out of Dreams.
Yeah. This... I'm just to see how long we talk about this. Probably not long. From Software had a little teaser thing. I don't want to
talk about long. Yeah.
Yeah. And a little teaser. We're not big From Software guys, so we can't get subtle hints.
The teaser is nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know about you, but like, I guess... If we get something else soon, then it'll be okay. But if we don't get anything for a long time, then this kind of annoys me. Yeah. Because this was such... Like, it's barely even a teaser. We, saw, a few seconds of some weird bloody rope thing.
Shadows die twice.
And then, it says Shadows die twice. And from everything I've seen, no one has a freaking clue what this is.
Yes.
It was like...
Well, a lot of people...
It was weird to show up... It was weird to show up at the Game Awards and have something that little... It wasn't even a very good teaser. It was just, it was nothing. I know nothing more about it. It doesn't really tell them
because, from what I understand, From Software is working on 3 games right now. There's no indication on platform for this thing, so we don't have any clue if it's like Bloodborne 2 or something else. So
I feel like we know more than we did before, basically. So
we just know they might be talking about a game soon.
I'm just going to be a little annoyed if it's not until E3 before we.
I think more people were upset about made this announcement, and even though it's 2 days later in hindsight, then they were at the time. And people were like, okay, we might see it at PSX. Obviously, that did not happen. Yeah. So people might be more upset about that.
Well, and that's what I was hoping. Also, I saw someone pointed out that it was one of the FromSoft people was in the crowd for the Game Awards, and they were like, "Do you think that he traveled all the way up here for just that one little teaser trailer?" So it's like, "Oh, maybe this is gonna be at PSX," and then At least it hasn't been so far.
That's not something you just announce in the middle of PSX at a random thing.
No, it would have. That would have been opening night for sure.
Moving on. Okay, actually, some reading going on. This comes from Luke Riley from IGN. Soul Calibur 6 was announced, Darby.
Middle school Darby would be very happy.
Yep, and here's some information about it. It's coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC in 2018. The fighting game will take place during the 16th century and revisit the events of the original game to uncover hidden truths. And Bandai Namco confirmed the game will feature a diverse lineup of new and returning characters with their unique fighting styles, including series mainstays Mitsurugi and Sophia. I butchered that. Did you tell? I'm not a Soul Calibur guy.
Anyone who listens to our podcast is pretty familiar with us butchering names. Anyway, at least it's fictional characters this time, and it's not real people that we're butchering the names of. I mean, no, it's very cool. Like, there's obviously big, there's a dedicated like Soul Calibur community. I used to like Soul Calibur games a lot. I've kind of haven't really thought about them in a very long time and everything. I worry that it was just kind of Soul Calibur, at least from my knowledge, has been away for a very long time, and I just kind of worry about Soul Calibur being able to come back in this world of Mortal Kombat and Injustice and
2012. Early 2012, like January.
For 5.
Yeah,
I got that. I remember I got that game very soon after, and I played a lot of it. It was a lot of fun, but I just worry about this kind of petering out, this coming out and not doing. But I mean, for the fans, it'll be great. It'll be great for the fans of it. I just don't really think Soul Calibur is going to take the world by storm in 2018.
No, I agree. We got we talked about. I don't know if we talked about on the podcast. There was a bunch of rumors, including the Devil May Cry 5 rumor. I think Soul Calibur was involved in that. I think there's in their Switch version.
Interesting.
Yeah, so makes me wonder. I'll have to look up back on that. It's like, okay, so that's not true. So I think part of it was like, okay, Switch version and Fire Emblem guest character. Obviously, that's not happening.
I've seen rumors about like them bringing back like the old guest characters, or at least some of them. But I know the Devil May Cry wasn't the rumor for Devil May Cry. Didn't it end up being E3? Was the rumor?
Yeah.
Was it the same?
I can't remember. There were a lot of rumors.
Okay,
let me put it this way. There's been so much stuff about Devil May Cry 5. I have no doubt that's
Devil
true.
May Cry 5 is a game that's in development. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it because the leaks were too serious.
So we'll probably see that E3.
Yeah.
So you. I think you guys get that bed right because you both said no. Okay, moving on. Quick thing: PUBG 1.0 is leaving, or PUBG's leaving early access on December 20th on PC. And coming out in a couple days on Xbox One. The desert map is available now on test servers for PUBG, with it heading to Xbox One early next year.
And people like it a lot.
Yeah.
The desert map.
Looks dope.
Yeah, it was very cool. People say it like changes the way that you approach it, which is
I saw. Yeah, I think in the Game Awards they mentioned that too. I'm like, okay, I'm glad to hear that. Like the maps are different.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see. People probably know this. I wonder if you like the map you go to is random, or you get to choose like which one you go to.
I'm not sure. I would imagine you choose, but maybe I don't know. Especially since there's only 2 maps right now.
Yeah. So
maybe not. I
cool.
should have.
Mm-hmm. I was kind of disappointed, partly because of the bets. We didn't get more of a gameplay shown off for that. Yeah. You lied to us. Okay. Quick.
Yeah. No, I was disappointed because I had the higher bet. I was very disappointed.
You had 20. And I don't know if I even technically saw a death in that thing. So spoilers.
It was very unclear.
Yeah. I don't count unclear.
I mean, if we counted every shot as a death, then it might have added up to 20, but that was definitely
maybe.
Not clear. But I think we all made that bet expecting
like a full Let's Play thing.
Yeah, or at least cut together. Yeah. Like I thought it was gonna be a match that they just like cut to like the person running. Now that it's the next encounter, but this was more just like a trailer type thing, and it was
Well, Darby, Microsoft was there in a way other than PUBG, kind of, sorta.
How was that, Jeff?
Sea of Thieves got a release date.
Yeah, I think I was in the bathroom or something. That I remember coming back and seeing it on the screen, but I didn't like see anything they showed.
Yeah, it's coming March 20th.
So that's not that far away.
Yeah. What was weird about this is it was during the commercials.
Yeah.
I saw Sea of Thieves commercials. I looked up and saw release date March 20th. I was like, we didn't know that, did we?
It definitely seemed like not as big of a deal as it should have been. Like,
Because this is Microsoft's like big game for early next year.
Microsoft's entire presence in the Game Awards was not very much. Like, They did not have a very high presence there.
PUBG and Cuphead, which aren't really their games.
Yeah, I mean, they were there in the awards, but, like, I mean, Sony was showing games. Bethesda had their whole, like, Save Player One thing, which was pretty great. I just love Bethesda doubling down on that. Like, everyone's been, like, that's usually the type of things that the media and, like, fans talk about, like, how, like, Bethesda's, like, saving first-player games or whatever, but you wouldn't think that Bethesda would actually say it themselves. But no, Bethesda's, like, completely owning it. They're like, no, let's do it.
Sony kind of did last night at the PSX too. They kind of mentioned that same thing. It's like, we're focusing on single player games, like games that, like game servers. Pff.
Now, obviously, you can saying things is very easy to do. Let's say doing things is a lot harder, but at least it does seem. Mm-hmm. And maybe that gives me hope that I was kind of worried about what lesson Bethesda would take from this year when they made so many great games that undersold.
Yeah. I think what this means is they're going to try to get Elder Scrolls 6 out faster.
Probably. I mean, like, hopefully they can just... I hope that single-player games don't become a niche, but if they do, Bethesda could find their niche. And they know what they do.
People talk about
people overblow it.
Single-player games still sound great.
They do. And people overblow that like crazy. This is just another trend, like the multiplayer games, that it's going to come, either die or, like, coexist. I mean, like... They've always existed, but it's just getting more and more prevalent. Yeah. You know, it'll be okay. Everyone, it'll be okay.
Speaking of single player games, this comes from Marty Sleeper from IGN. In the Valley of Gods has been announced. It's made from the team that made Firewatch, and is coming out in 2019 on PC, with plans to hopefully come out on consoles later.
Yes.
And there's a lot more stuff about the game in the IGN article, so I suggest you read that if you're interested, but I'm just going to read the first thing, just kind of giving an idea what this game's about. In the Valley of Gods is set in Egypt during the late 1920s. It stars Rashida and Zora, a pair of documentary filmmakers who accidentally made it big with a hit movie, but have since seen their careers go off a cliff. They reunite years later after receiving information about the lost tomb of I don't know how to pronounce that. I feel like I did something.
Where are we at?
Oh
gosh,
yeah.
With
the goal of
Egyptian name.
The goal of reigniting their careers by documenting their trip to Egypt. And like I said, there's a lot more information in the IGN article if you want to read that. I'm sure it's from Campo Santo and some gameplay stuff.
That, like, lots of information that was not portrayed in that trailer at all.
I'm pretty sure even the PC thing wasn't even in the trailer. I saw it later. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I think me and Jeff were just kind of like chatting back and forth, like, through text, basically, during this whole thing. And my impression for this trailer, like, I have no doubt with Campo Santo and everything, like, this game's going to be great just because I know them and everything, and now that I know the setting and stuff, it seems good. But that trailer, there was nothing in that trailer that really, like, jumped out to me as something that I would be like Firewatch was immediately, like, when that game came out, it was like, it felt like something like, you could latch onto those characters and the setting and everything, and you had something to say to people if you were going to explain to them about that game. Just seeing that trailer, I really had nothing.
Yeah.
I was like, it's Egypt. That's about it. I mean, it just seemed like kind of a long and, in my opinion, kind of boring trailer, but I'm sure the game will be good, but I think you liked it. You said you liked it more, at least.
I do admit, probably part of the reason I like it so much because I knew it was from Campo Santo and I trust them. Something that kind of made me kind of excited for is, like, okay, Campo Santo believes in their graphics now. They feel like they can show people's faces.
Yes, I do like that. Because did you ever see, like, the picture of, like, from a third-person perspective, the Firewatch model?
No.
Because it doesn't have a head, and it's terrifying. It's pretty horrifying. But yeah, it's one of those. I just felt like the trailer was missing something. I mean, I just felt like there was that catch that I was waiting for, and it never happened.
But reading this makes more excited because we know more about the game.
Yes, yeah. And even like Anthony Gallegos on Kind of Funny Games Daily was talking about how the setting of being in, like, Egypt in the 1920s, that there was lots of, like, social unrest there and lots of like political problems and all these other things that Campo Santo might address, because in Firewatch deals with some very heavy stuff. So like this might be it might be an interesting time period that we don't normally see. I'm not like a history buff. I don't know much about it, but like from what he was saying, it sounded interesting. There's no guarantee that they like.
Also, something I thought I had. I mean, hopefully this comes out on consoles pretty quickly after PC. If not, they can make it so it's day one. I hope. But
I hope so.
By the time this comes out, they worked on this game for a good while, because Firewatch came out early 2016, like February.
Right.
So by the time it comes out, it'll be like 3 years. I'm like, okay, that's a good time for this kind of game. So again, I trust these guys. Sure, this game will be great.
I do too.
Yeah. We'll definitely talk more about
and
that.
And they can take their time with it. Yeah.
Do what you need to do, but when it is done, get on the consoles quickly. That's all we ask.
I wonder if Campo Santo is just like they're going to be known for that art style, because it's basically like the same Firewatch art style, which I'm fine with.
I feel like this art style is more refined, which
no, it's just kind of like the enhanced, like the step up from those graphics.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah, excited.
I mean, it's something you can look at it and be like, "Yep, that's Campo Santo," and that might be what they're going for. So
do your own thing. I trust you. Okay. Moving on to the Nintendo news. Nintendo had some pretty good presents at the Game Awards, other than winning a bunch of awards.
Just all around, they like won the Game Awards.
Okay, I just want to mention this real quick. Like, one thing as a Nintendo fan, I'm happy to see them getting recognition. I just had a funny thought. I know people consider it a Switch game. I find it funny, technically a Wii U game won Game of the Year.
Yeah. I saw people talking about that. It's true.
Yep. I find that funny. Okay.
Nintendo has the last laugh.
Yep, so, speaking of Zelda, at the Game Awards, we had a new look at The Legend of Zelda Champions Ballad DLC.
Yeah, we did.
And it is out now.
All right, I guess I forgot to say this. Like, best moment of the Game Awards, probably at least up there, has to be that shadow drop, right?
Yes.
But to show that whole trailer, show all of that, and then available tonight. It's like, wait, what?
No one of the best moments we'll talk about right after this.
I have a hot take, Jeff. We need more shadow drops. Shadow drops are fun.
Yes.
Even for me, like I'm in the middle of playing Zelda. I'm not gonna play Champions Ballad right now. Like there was no way I was playing it that
I'm gonna mention this. Not really a spoiler. Just if you're trying to play DLC, you need to do all 4 Divine Beasts before you can start the DLC.
Right. Yeah.
Which makes sense for story purposes based on the trailer.
But even as someone who's not going to be able to play it right now, just the fact that it was out tonight is just so exciting.
Well, that gives you something extra to do before you go fight Ganon.
Yes.
So you can get that done before you finish the game.
Yep. And in a really weird turn of events, even weirder than the announcement that was that night, Link has a motorcycle.
Yes, I think from my thought, you need to overcome all the challenges in the DLC.
Which is weird. I'm like, just give it to me at the beginning.
Yeah.
But
because there are a bunch of new costumes in there which look dope.
That seems like a weird idea, because it's like by the time you finish all the challenges, you've probably finished the game. So it's like, here's your motorcycle. You have nothing else to do.
Yeah.
So ride around the motorcycle for an hour, and then you'll put the game away forever. It's like, I don't know. It was the same problem like Twilight Princess gave you this amazing armor once you had beaten everything in the game, so you never got to use the armor. Yeah. It's just a weird flaw in the games, but...
Yeah, and I hear you. I might be wrong. I mean, that's why I saw an IGN. I might be wrong about that.
That's what I've heard.
Okay. What I've heard too. Yeah, I'm trying to avoid stuff like hearing too much about it.
But I love the
I love the costumes for it.
I love the motorcycle. It makes 0 sense, and I don't care.
No, but Darby, it makes Link and Mario Kart 8 canon. Makes Mario Kart 8 canon.
Right.
It even has the same name.
But just Zelda Breath of the Wild is at this point like, is it fun? Yes. Good. That's all you need. Like it doesn't need to make sense, because I don't know, the Zelda story is kind of garbage anyway. It's fine. It's not what Zelda's doing. It's not what it's doing. So put a motorcycle in there. It'll be fun.
Yep. Sure being canon.
So you can play that right now, listener.
Yep. I'll hopefully have a present by next week. That's probably one of those things like, put everything on the back burner. Let's play some Zelda.
Me and Jeff will be playing Zelda at the same time.
Whoa. Okay, some more Nintendo announcements. Bayonetta 1 and 2 are coming to the Switch. They are going to be out February 16th. That's pretty quick. Very quick.
And it's so awesome, because these are games that no one, or at least Bayonetta 2, no one played and people need to play. I mean, I haven't, like, I played Bayonetta 1. I haven't really played much of Bayonetta 2, but I mean, like, I know these games are great.
Are you going to get it, Darby?
Oh, yeah, I probably will. I probably will.
Cool. And
I'll probably skip straight to Bayonetta 2 because I just don't feel like playing 3 games back to back.
Some other news related to this. Bayonetta 2 includes new features such as local wireless co-op, amiibo support, and video support capture.
Yeah, and I guess anyone who doesn't know Bayonetta, it's kind of like a hack and slash type game. Yeah. It's very that might turn you off, but it's the best version of that. I think it's like a perfected hack and slash game. It has lots of very creative takes on it. The characters are awesome. The world is just crazy. It's just buck wild.
I have on the Wii U, but I need to play it.
And all right, I guess.
1 is only going to be available digitally, and they're doing some interesting thing with the pricing for this game. If you get both of them, no matter what, you're going to pay $60. They do little sales things on the eShop. It's $50 for Bayonetta 2, but if you get that and then one becomes $10. When it's originally $30, but if you get 1 and then 2 becomes $30. So no matter what, if you're getting these games on both skins on the Switch, you're going to pay $60 a month.
That is weird.
And I'm like, okay, cool.
I mean, whatever, yeah.
So you're not ripping people off for getting one, then getting the other one later.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. And that led to another great announcement, moment.
I mean, Reggie wasn't going to go there just for one announcement,
no.
Jeff.
We're getting Bayonetta 3 exclusively for Switch. The salts came.
Bayonetta is a Nintendo franchise at this point, and I'm here for it. It's fine.
Bayonetta's gonna be in the next Smash.
I mean, the salt about it. It's honestly, Bayonetta probably wouldn't exist anymore for Nintendo. I mean, okay. That's the thing. People are like, "Oh, it'd be better if it was on PlayStation or whatever." It's it wouldn't be happening.
No,
Sony's not paying.
That whole it's better on all of the consoles. That's an argument for every game ever that's exclusive to something.
Mean, obviously, every game we'd like to have everyone be able to play it, but
it's not the way these things work. Though the salt is not as much for Bayonetta 2 because that was just embarrassing how mad people got about that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not to the level, but some people are again, same thing. Yeah, this game would not exist without Nintendo. You can assume.
And you can't fault, I mean, Bayonetta 2 sales were terrible from what I can remember, right?
Yeah, but it was late. Late on the Wii U cycle.
General wisdom would tell you that Bayonetta 3 shouldn't exist. Yeah. So the fact that Nintendo is making it happen, we should be happy about.
Mm-hmm. And they're also hey, we're going to port 1 and 2 there, so you have time to play those before 3 comes out. Probably in 2019.
Well, Nintendo's doubling down on Bayonetta. Yeah. They believe in Bayonetta even though it didn't sell well, which I like.
Because no matter how well how little it sold, everyone who played it for the most part agreed this is a great game.
And I hate it, but I feel like I haven't looked much online, but I can kind of guess. I think these announcements are going to be undershadowed for how actually awesome they are. Yeah. People are going to write it off too much is what I'm people were probably expecting Smash Bros or something when Reggie was we have one more announcement or whatever, and the fact that oh, Nintendo, it's all Bayonetta, that's all the announcements here. I'm besides Zelda, that. Yeah. I can already tell this is going to be made less than what I feel like it is. It's pretty awesome that these games are coming.
No, there's actually going to be more hype for the January thing, because if they're doing a Bayonetta here, then what? I'm hyping myself too much. What will they show during January? Yeah. Especially since the quick turnaround between Bayonetta 1 and 2 ports and when it comes out. Yeah. So it makes you think, okay, they might have more ports. Those come out a month or two after Bayonetta. Also, I'm just happy with the way Nintendo's doing it with third-party exclusives, because we got Mario Plus Rabbids, we're getting Bayonetta 3, we're getting No More Heroes, we're getting Octopath Traveler, we're getting Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Yeah,
they're killing it while getting those deals.
Lots of names.
Those are, I guess maybe other Mario Plus Rabbids. These are niche things, but there are people for each one of those games that will get this for that or
and for those fans, it's awesome.
Yeah,
it's so cool.
Yeah. So I am happy with what Nintendo's doing, and I find it interesting Nintendo, more than any other company, has this presence at the Game Awards consistently.
They're starting to have a presence everywhere. I mean, Nintendo is just starting to become... It's finally happening again, where Nintendo is synonymous with video games again. Yeah. For so long, I just felt like Nintendo was kind of an afterthought with video games because the Wii U just wasn't selling well. Now it's just anything that happens, it's just the Switch is going to come up in conversation. Nintendo's going to be somewhere showing games. Yeah.
people would have laughed.
You can't escape Nintendo anymore.
People potentially a year ago would have laughed at the way things are going now.
Yeah,
like just even looking at the Game Awards.
Nintendo's gonna have 2 Game of the Year nominees. They're gonna have like 3 different announcements. People are gonna lose their mind. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on, Darby. So I think we knew this game was coming. We were going to hear about this game this weekend, but not necessarily the way we did.
Definitely not the way we did.
A Way Out was shown at the Game Awards. I figured it's PSX or whatever. And it got a release date, March 23rd, 2018, because last time we said 2019 on that.
With that the leak or whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of the PS4, Xbox One, PC. And EA revealed, I think it was supposed to be said at the Game Awards, but we'll get into that in a second. I think it was going to be said until stuff happened. EA revealed that anyone who owns A Way Out can have a friend download the Friends Pass free trial to play along for free with the friend who owns the game without paying for a second.
So you can play the whole thing?
I think so.
That's what I understood at least.
I think, okay, so people who have not watched the Game Awards, the, I guess, main guy behind it, Joseph, or is it Joseph Fares?
Yeah.
He got drunk.
He was a passionate man, Jeff.
He was a passionate man. Jeff Keighley was interviewing him about this, and he just went off the rails. It was kind of funny, but I felt bad for Jeff.
Yeah, I guess I do want to talk to you about this. I'm of 2 minds with this. On the initial kind of just thinking about my own enjoyment and just not thinking about anything else, the broader picture of it, it was funny. I mean, that was hilarious. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Go watch the little 5-minute thing or whatever of him just going. He yells expletives at the Oscars. He does all this stuff. It was insane, and it was funny. And and from A Way Out's perspective, it's kind of, even if it wasn't planned, it's brilliant. I remember us talking about how fun this guy was at E3 too. He didn't go off like this, but he was very lively and crazy, and I guarantee you this is gonna get A Way Out more coverage than if he had just done nothing.
I saw a good many people on Reset are I'm buying the game because of this.
No, I'm legitimately serious. That was brilliant. Yeah. Marketing wise, that was brilliant. I mean, it gets A Way Out on the map, and this is a game that needs that kind of thing.
Strangely enough, it makes EA look better.
It does, because he just looks more human and everything. He is a valuable asset as a presenter, for sure.
I'm going to... you go ahead, because...
All right, I was going to say, just in this conversation, the other side of this is, if the Game Awards and all this were trying to make video games look more professional and look like something that needs to be taken seriously more, that type of stuff makes it look childish.
Yeah.
That type of stuff's not going to happen at the Oscars.
Like what you said, that's Jeff's goal, and you can tell he was getting increasingly uncomfortable and just kind of... And just for the whole thing, he was very tired. I think I heard someone, he got 2 hours of sleep the night before.
He said that on Twitter. He said, now the hardest part of this is to do the show on 2 hours of sleep.
Yeah, I feel bad for Jeff there. I mean, it was funny, but yeah.
So overall, I don't think it's a good thing. I mean, it's funny to laugh at and everything, but it doesn't help. At least if any of your goal is to promote the medium of video games. Now, as great, the show was amazing, but so many people, just mainstream people, are just going to see the cutout clip of look at this guy at this video game awards show screaming at the Oscars. That's what you're going to see more than anything.
Okay, so Jason Schreier reminded me of this. That leaked EA marketing thing we talked about with A Way Out and Faye, and how the Nintendo Direct for next month leaked. I forgot about this line. I didn't think about it at the time, but Jason reminded me about it on Twitter, saying, Joseph as a person, this is an exact line from that marketing thing. Joseph as a personality is a plus. His passion is great, but needs to watch out for controversy. EA knew.
They knew.
That's how you... No, that proved it that thing was real.
Yeah. I mean, do you remember him from E3? Because I remember talking about it. He was a lot of fun then. Yeah. And this, I'm serious. That's how you market. I mean, that's how you get your name out there, is doing crazy stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It's just, I hate it for Jeff though, and I hate it for the award show. It's just kind of the show there. But I know, and some people maybe this is right. I don't feel like it was. People, I know Tim on Kind of Funny, and some other people think that the whole thing was scripted. I don't think it was.
I don't think you could script.
I might be wrong.
I don't think
that he was saying it's not scripted. But it was scripted in that he was gonna go off and like like do something crazy, and that Jeff was going to be like, all right, let's go. Like, it didn't feel that way to me, but
Jeff looked generally uncomfortable and like just wanted to get out of there.
it did. It looked weird to me.
But again, go back to the main point. It's coming out March 23rd, Darby.
I know, that's awesome.
We're playing that.
Yeah, I guess we've talked about Joseph more. We talked about the game. I mean, the game looks awesome. It looks like such a unique concept where it's like it's meant to be played local, or it's meant to be played multiplayer like that. And
you have to play it multiplayer.
Yeah, and games don't do that anymore. Yeah. It's so awesome, and just the story, everything.
I don't know if we're gonna do like a little let's play thing of it, but I know we're playing it like together.
Yeah.
That's. For sure.
And I can see this game being something like, even if you have someone who doesn't normally play video games, it could be like, sit down, let's like go through this story. And
I mean, honestly, I guess depending on how they're release date, this might be the first game I get in the year other than Fighters. Potentially. Can't think of anything else. So, you'll see. Moving on. This comes from Miranda Sanchez from IGN. Which fire was announced at the Game Awards? It is from the team behind The Vanishing and Ethan Carter, called The Astronauts, and are working on it. And it's a dark fantasy shooter. See, I thought this was a walking simulator. When the guns came out, it's like, okay, this is what this is.
Okay.
Look neat.
Is Witchfire a good name, Jeff?
It's a generic name.
It's a weird name. I can't put my finger on how I feel about it.
Again, game looked neat. Looked pretty.
Yeah, I'll be honest. It kind of blended into everything else to me. I needed to watch it again before we came back out here. But yeah.
Okay. Also from Miranda Sanchez from IGN. GTFO was announced.
All right, GTFO, good name or bad name?
I don't know. I have mixed feelings. It is a 4-player co-op game. And then after the trailer reveal, GTFO developer Ulf Anderson said the first-person shooter has an emphasis on teamwork and puzzle solving. And players are tasked with scavenging for artifacts in underground complexes filled with monsters. And it is coming to PC in 2018. There's no word for consoles. And this looks neat. I don't know how much of a story thing it has, but the
gameplay looked very interesting.
Yeah,
fun. It caught my attention at least.
I'm saying this let's say everything has somewhat of a story. A 4-player co-op shooter that involves a lot has puzzles in it could be really cool.
Yeah.
That could be something I could actually get into.
Yeah.
So I agree. That is all the Game Awards.
Oh, is that? Okay, yeah.
I mean, I cut out the VR stuff and things, but that's all the major ones.
I just forgot because we're in the weird order. Awesome announcements. I mean,
I'm just gonna say straight up, this was a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. I thought Jeff would make having it too much, but at the same time, I was like, Jeff's very self-aware with this stuff. I feel like he pays attention to what people say. If he wouldn't be doing this for that reason.
The fact that he's on Resetera, commenting to people he's in this industry. He's and that's what makes this award so great. It's coming from someone who's genuine. It's not just it's not Joel McHale. Which God, I went back and watched watched the thing of that again, and just. He should have been nowhere near that award. That was just
I'll say this. I think I like Kyle Bossman.
I know. I wanted more Bossman.
I need more business Bossman. Best Bossman.
It was weird seeing them all serious, being all
So we're gonna go on the PSX, Darby. So I think we got wrong. We said we really enjoyed the Game Awards.
Yeah, very very good. I'm excited for it going forward. It just being a mainstay.
And I'm just so happy for Jeff Keighley. He's just
a great guy, dude. He's just a very genuine, awesome dude. I've been following him on Twitter, and he just has seemed so genuinely excited, leading up to this, where he's just I can't not wait for you guys to see all these things.
Yeah, I hope he's really happy with the reception it's getting, which seems to be really good from everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so
and it's the first time every year I feel like there's been some big group of people that are latching on to something to complain about, but and rightfully so. But this year's I don't have many complaints.
Yeah,
good job.
Yeah, there are some things you can complain about, but we kind of talked about it. It's a kind of a weird situation, Jefferson.
Yeah.
So let's move on to something that to a lot of people were kind of disappointing, unlike the Game Awards.
Yeah,
the PSX.
Well, PSX was definitely. I mean, Jeff will have more to say to me because I really just watched the highlights. Whereas Jeff, did you watch the whole thing?
Yes.
Very much of a downsized PSX from other years, right?
No,
and more of
it depends when you look at it. They still had the giant stage. They still had the whole auditorium full of people, which was weird. That went against what Okay, yeah, let me just say this thing was weird.
Just go into it, Jeff.
Yeah, like, okay, to people who didn't watch it, yeah, it was, I think, the same auditorium they've always had, and with the whole screens and everything, but they had couches on the stage. Again, the auditorium's full of people, like, it was going to be a big press conference, but it was, other than a couple trailers, which weren't really big trailers and could have been dropped on the PlayStation blog or YouTube or something, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Yeah.
There were just some people, like, Sean Layden and some guy from the PlayStation blog whose name I can't remember. I apologize.
Yeah, I recognize both of these. I just forget his
name. Talking to developers, which is fine, but that's just one of those things. Like, you have panels for this stuff. Why not just make it a panel?
Yeah, from what I saw, it just seemed like a weird, overly sized panel. Like, and it was just casual, but too casual. It was just to the point of just being kind of awkward and just dull.
Yeah, and while some of the stuff was interesting, and during the presentation, because they're trying to get so much stuff out there, like a lot of the developers and stuff, and they were trying to show up the trailer, I don't feel like they didn't go as in depth with each game as you would have liked that with some of these things. Like, I assume they're going to do at the Last of Us panel, the Uncharted panel, the Ghost of Tsushima, and the Dreams panels they have today.
Focused ones,
like,
yeah.
Actually, I'm hoping those are online because I definitely want to watch those.
Definitely Ghost of Tsushima. I definitely want to see it.
I want to see the Dreams one as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess the best thing for me, like as far as that kind of stuff, we had like a 15-minute Detroit demo, like live demo.
Yeah, which I was that was it's like the first time, that was the most excited I've been about Detroit.
I feel like that probably more than anything is that probably still more people than some of the trailers. Like people on the fence, that probably got people over.
Seeing it being played out definitely helped. Something about that definitely helped me a lot, and just. Like, I mean, just kind of seeing what I'm going to be doing and seeing them, like, piece together everything. Yeah. And, like, what excited me more was the thing that this is probably, like, an early thing. You know, how crazy does this get? Like, how, like, you know.
Yeah, I think they said.
And this is, like, a crime thing, and then you're going to have, like, the domestic, the home thing or whatever, and then you're going to have, like, the riots in the street. When there's so many different settings and to see, like, this mechanic work out in so many different ways.
And, Darby, you correct me if I'm wrong, or I guess people let me know listening to this. If I'm wrong, I think he said like this Connor thing is like one of the first scenes in the game,
and it kind of strikes you that way at least. Yeah.
And as far as the detective thing, I think they said at one of the previous things, it might have been the E3 thing when it was first revealed, like that the whole detective thing is exclusive to Connor because they're 3 characters.
Okay.
It kind of doesn't make sense. Not every Android can do that. Like that's Connor's niche.
Probably programmed a certain way to do certain things. Yeah.
Which I'm okay with, like each of the characters kind of have their own little thing.
Yeah, so I mean, hopefully they would use those same type of deals, but just in different ways. Like it's not always like you're investigating detailed this crime scene.
Because if that happened with every character and every little thing, that would get old.
Yeah,
it being spread out and being exclusive to Connor would make more interesting.
And I will say I still have some of my same reservations. I'm still a little worried about the writing in this game being able to carry throughout the entire game. I think definitely, especially in hindsight, Heavy Rain does not hold up very well, and I just don't really completely trust David Cage's writing. Obviously, this time he has other writers, which is going to help a lot. I still think it has the uncanny valley thing that Heavy Rain does. Like I don't like the faces a lot of times; it just weirds me out. Like they just look look strange. So like I'm gonna 100%, I'm going to be waiting to see what you say, what Will says, what other people say. Good chance I'll probably just borrow one of your copies afterwards. I mean, this is not a game I feel like I need to get to right away. But leading into this, I really wasn't that interested in all, and now I'm pretty interested.
Cool. So, and they say it's still scheduled for spring 2018. That's what I say. But okay, so let's go into some other stuff. Let's get into what might be considered the biggest thing for this thing. Medieval Remaster was announced. At the end, like, one more thing. Sean Layden had his shirt hiding behind a jacket. The whole time we're all like, okay, that's going to lead to something. What is it, Sean? Take off your jacket.
Yeah.
Revealed it was a medieval thing, and they showed a little tiny teaser.
Sir Daniel Fortescue.
Yes. Which I'm actually decently excited about. Like, I'm a fan of Sir Dan through PlayStation All-Stars, so I'm very interested in this.
Right.
And
so is this like... There were multiple games, right? Is this a remaster of a certain game? Or
I think it's the original.
Okay.
I assume, but
I would assume too. But
something I just want to point out with being called a remaster, Crash and Shadow Colossus were both called remastered. Yeah. Those are remakes, in my opinion.
Pretty, yeah.
So this is going to be a Medieval, I assume, remake, which has me pretty excited.
It's going to be more serious than just a coat of paint.
Yeah. Which I'm very interested in this. I kind of always want to try out the medieval games.
Yeah,
I like Sir Dan.
Yeah, I would not expect this to like catch like Crash did, but like for the fans that liked it back in the day, I mean this is the perfect PSX announcement to that crowd, the PlayStation crowd.
And I'd be perfectly okay if like every PSX they just announce one of these games.
Yeah.
Just a remastered, remake, whatever thing.
Just something for the hardcore fans and stuff.
Yeah. So that was cool. And we mentioned earlier developers or whatever coming out, and one of them being God of War. This comes from Casey DeFreitas from IGN. I'm just going to read this off to kind of give some details. Okay. If I'm interesting. Sony shared additional details on God of War's the PSX 2017 opening ceremony, including its development progress and length. Santa Monica Studios creative director Corey Barlog revealed God of War is in its final phases and they're currently playtesting. Barlog said, "I'm feeling very good about things. I would love to be able to tell people when we're going to release it, but my dog ate the release date, so I don't have that right now."
Ha ha.
Yeah, in quote. God of War is still expected to release 2018. I would hope so. Originally, Barlog expected God of War to last about 15 hours, but after finishing playtests conducted over the past few weeks, God of War's total gameplay time we found to be between 25 and 35 hours.
Whew.
So, pretty lengthy game.
Yeah. Definitely more than I thought it would be.
So, this is one of the things that upset me about this thing. Like, God of War not getting a release date. I'm like, if this is coming out when you say it is, why let me have a date?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably more of the, like, just trying not to set it seems like there's lots of developers and lots of people recently are trying to not set dates so they don't have to delay them and stuff. But it's just also like I'm just kind of tired of seeing God of War without seeing things. I just kind of like.
They're not showing any new footage. They just went over the ones from.
Which is fine. I mean, like I think God of War. This almost struck me. I did watch that segment. This almost strikes me as like we're doing PSX. We're doing this panel. We have to fill it with games. God of War is the ones that people want to see. Get this guy on here. It didn't really seem like they had anything to actually say. Yeah. It was just. Let's just talk about God of War and fill some time, Yeah.
Like I just read, the most interesting thing is no release date for whatever reason. And then how long it apparently is going to be.
Yeah.
Which, I guess, longer than I thought.
Yeah. I mean, I think, I don't know, probably just because it looks like Last of Us-ish with the, like, behind the shoulder thing. I guess we probably all kind of just thought that it might be Last of Us type length, like 15 hours, 12 to 15 hours.
Yeah.
However,
I kind of expected.
But I mean, as long as it's a fun 25 to 35 hours and not a padded one, that's fine.
Yeah. Part of me hopes it's closer to 25 hours.
I do too. Like because it's so story driven and it kind of seems like tighter gameplay and stuff like that. I feel like it would lend itself to being a shorter game. I don't want it to overstay its welcome. But
I agree. Okay. Moving on. This also comes from Casey DeFreitas. Mega Man will make a cameo in Monster Hunter World in the form of an 8-bit gear for Palicos, the feline hunting companions. Monster Hunter World will also feature classic tunes for Mega Man tied to certain weapons, including Dr. Wily's stage and Fireman, in celebration of Mega Man's 30th anniversary. We'll talk more about that
Just
later.
Put everyone in Monster Hunter. Why not?
Again, I told already before this. On at least Monster Hunter on PlayStation, I think it's on Xbox One as well. Is that right? Yeah. You can play as Aloy while having Mega Man as a companion. Because why not? Video games.
Why not? Because it's fun, Joe.
Yes. This is one of those things, but my immersion. Don't use it. Let people have fun with their video games.
I don't know. Monster Hunter kind of, at least from what I've seen, it kind of looks like the tone it's setting is not a very serious one anyway. Yeah. For the most part. So it's like,
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's move on, Darby. This comes from Alex from IGN. This is a rundown of some of the VR stuff that looks interesting.
VR rundown.
Yeah. Last Guardian is coming to PSVR for a 15 to 20 minute experience. It will be out December 12th and it will be free. And you don't need a copy of The Last Guardian to play it. Wipeout Omega Collection is coming to PlayStation VR. All the tracks and modes from the collection, as well as new exclusive ships and interiors, will be featured in the game. VR support for Wipeout Omega Collection will be available via a free update coming in early 2018. And lastly, Firewall First Contact was announced. It's a team-based 4v4 tactical first-person shooter from developer First Contact Entertainment. Will support the PSVR aim controller. Yeah.
VR.
Yep. And all the stuff seemed pretty cool. Firewall, a little janky. I don't know if you saw that footage.
A little bit of it.
Yeah, looked kind of janky. Wipeout's cool, but I imagine people are gonna get sick from that.
If Trico is already hard enough to control normally, so
yeah. And then you'll see him falling on your face.
And the controls are already janky enough normally.
Yeah.
Now you get to do it in VR and throw up.
But only for 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. You don't get
only throw up a little bit.
When they started talking, I was like, are they going to make the whole thing playable in VR? What's going on here?
I don't know. I feel like that's going to be a pretty small, insignificant thing.
I agree. Biggest news of the week, Darby. Sean Layden hinted we could change our PSN names by PSX next year. So, yeah.
I'll believe it when it happens.
Yeah.
Sean. This just happened because Greg, of course he did. Greg asked him when he was going to be able to change his name.
I like the Greg interviews.
I need to watch them. I only saw like the clips. So
Facebook's good.
Greg's good at interviewing. Greg's a wonderful interviewer. But Greg Miller, by the way.
Yeah.
And he asked him, and then Sean kind of just made this painful look on his face. It was like, it's hard. Basically said it's harder than you would think it was. He's like, I hope that events happen to where you don't have to ask me that next year. That's all he said. So it's not like he directly said something. I'll believe it when it happens.
Yeah. Greg Miller will bring it up if it doesn't happen by next year.
Oh yeah, he will.
He put a little notification on his phone for PSX about the time it'd be next year to remind him.
Did he? Actually?
No.
Oh,
I
bet he will. I bet he will.
Yeah. Okay, so we're done with PSX and Game Awards stuff.
All right.
Yeah. So
eventful week.
Yep. And we got more.
We got more, you guys.
We got some pretty substantial stuff outside of it.
Don't go anywhere. Don't turn that dial.
Don't X out.
There you go.
Or turn off your whatever. Okay, move. Let's go on.
Don't throw your phone out the car window just yet.
Yes.
Wait until you've listened to the rest of this podcast first.
Yes. Last story, biggest story of the forever.
And after you hear that, feel free to just chunk that phone right out the window.
Yeah, because then it's pretty much done, so it's okay. Okay.
That's whatever.
As I mentioned during the Monster Hunter news, it was Mega Man 30th anniversary, and they had a little stream to celebrate. They were hyping it up. People were like, they're not going to make it worth it. They made it worth it.
They made it worth it.
Okay, rundown of the news. Mega Man 11 is coming to Xbox One, PS4, Nintendo Switch, and PC late next year.
And it's old school Mega Man.
But they a little updated the graphics, make it 2.5D stuff.
Yeah, are we talking about the graphics right now?
We can.
I don't like them. But the gameplay looks good, so that's what matters most. But it's doing the same type of thing that I feel like Samus Returns did, and like so many of these, when they reboot or remake the older retro 2D shooting whatever graphics, they always try to do this 2.5D thing, and I feel like the textures always look bad. It always looks very just low detail. It looks like a phone game and stuff. I don't know if the problem is just the 2.5D thing in general or just the way that they do it, but I think Samus looks terrible. I do not like the art style at all. The gameplay is awesome, so I'm going to play it and it's going to be good. Same thing with Mega Man, but I'm kind of tired of it. I'm not saying that they have to be retro 8-bit looking, but something's got to, because this just happens so consistently. Same thing with Mighty Number 9. This thing looks a lot like Mighty Number 9 to me. Gameplay, it's probably going to be so much better, but
well,
that's just my lore.
Yeah, I'll say this about it. This thing's a year away. Might look better by then.
Just the fundamental, I don't know. I don't think it'll look that much different, but
we'll see. And obviously, if we get this, we'll be getting it on Switch.
Yes.
As with all this stuff. Okay.
Obviously, a game like this, you would.
Okay, and
I mean, I don't want to stay on it too long because we're running out of time. But I mean, you really like Mega Man games as a kid, right? Are you excited for this?
Oh yeah. All right, let's do it. And next thing, all 8 Mega Man X games are coming to PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC next year. I think they said around summertime. I can't remember the exact thing. Also important to note, they never mentioned collection. So we don't know if this is all going to be in one thing or they're going to be separate or how they're going to do it.
They've generally been pretty good about doing collections, right?
But
so I mean,
the important thing to point out, they did not say collection.
They did not say it, so yeah.
And final thing, Mega Man Legacy Collection 1 and 2 are coming to the Switch in the spring. I'm just surprised those weren't there already.
Yeah.
But at least they're coming now.
Yeah. It makes sense. They need to be. That kind of game needs to.
So now you can have all your Mega Man games on the Switch.
Mega Man's back, baby.
Back, baby.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I wonder how much. I wonder how much Mega Man 11 will resonate with people. I mean, I think it's going to be like the old fans. I don't think it's going to sell that much, but I think that's fine as long as the expectations.
I feel like we can look at kind of Sonic Mania and you may get an idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, which really, I mean, I guess it depends how much budget.
I don't think I ever saw Mania sales.
I think I just heard generally they're good. I don't think that we ever saw an exact number, but considering it's a $20 game, I think.
Yeah.
Not the highest budget. I'm sure Mega Man 11 is the same way. So we'll see.
Also, I think didn't they say in the Easy Allies that like someone found like they put like pictures from Mega Man 11 in like an old Mega Man in like one of the. I think it was like in one of the Legacy collections that if you looked in the game files, they like found pictures of this or something.
Yeah, I think maybe like his rock transformation thing is. Yeah, also a pretty cool thing they're doing. I mean, it's not necessarily the coolest thing, but it's one of those things like, hey, actual upgrades and stuff. Like when he got a power up thing, it just changed its color. Now actually changed his design, which, as a Mega Man Battle Network fan, I appreciate. Battle Network's underrated. Moving on. Some pretty big news, Darby. A new Tomb Raider game has been confirmed. Officially confirmed.
Yeah.
We've known about it for like a year or something.
In kind of a weird way.
It's officially announced on Twitter, and it will be revealed. The game will be officially revealed according to a major event. And if you take the first letter of each sentence,
so cool.
All 6 sentences, it spells shadow.
For Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Yes,
obviously.
which is the
I really like to think that was just some social media guy just had that idea at the last minute. And they're like, you have to communicate this on Twitter. He's like, okay, we'll have fun with it. But no, basically, like on the Twitter thing, they were like saying they directly said that we want to make it the official announcement to you playing it a very short amount of time, and I appreciate that. Like I'm down for that.
So I think maybe we can agree generally. Announce it E3 comes out later.
Yeah, kind of like the Fallout 4 time span of like that was like roughly 5 months or something.
Yeah, something like that.
I would imagine something around those lines.
Because I can't think of any major events that.
I wonder how that will work for. Like, will that benefit it because it seems like a big deal? Everyone will be like, "Holy crap, it's coming out so soon," or will it hurt it because it won't have like the marketing, the like traditional year at least marketing span? I don't know because that works for Fallout because of how big it is, but Tomb Raider, I worry that would hurt it.
Yeah, because Rise of the Tomb Raider,
it's a gamble.
So it's like sales were disappointing.
I would imagine this is coming out on PS4 immediately this time. I would have to imagine.
I would call Square Enix idiots if it doesn't.
Yeah, it's weird as it. I would be less surprised if it was PS4 exclusive than I would be if it if it was. I would be more surprised. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
But Rise of the Tomb Raider, fantastic game, does not get talked about nearly enough. It's so good, and I'm like really like I don't talk about it that much, but like this new Tomb Raider reboot series, the 2 games, it's like one of my favorite ongoing series right now. Like my favorite set of games. Like
I need to play Rise of the Tomb Raider.
I feel like it just doesn't get talked about much because they're kind of just I don't know. I mean, like, it doesn't do anything I guess too innovative, but like they're just very tight, great games. Gameplay wise, better than Uncharted.
Sacrilege.
And honestly, like overall, Uncharted 4 versus Rise of the Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider wins. Hot takes.
Okay. Move on, Darby. The Devil May Cry HD collection was announced. It is coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC on March 13th, 2018. All 3 games running at 60 frames per second, according to Capcom. I know that makes some people happy. And it will be available digitally and at retail for $30.
Get your band shirts, your Hot Topic skinny jeans, and your hair dye ready.
And pizza.
Yeah. Because it's time to get edgy as hell again.
Yep.
Did you play these games? I don't remember about you. Because I did. No. I played all of them. I loved them.
No. I think I ended up getting the PS2 a little later than this stuff came out. And that's one of those games I just not got to.
Back in like middle school days and elementary school days, these games were so cool. You just felt so cool being Dante. And they're like so angsty and edgy, and I don't know if they hold up, but I loved them at the time, so I'm interested.
Cool. So we all had the same reaction when seeing this. Like, so Devil May Cry 5 is getting announced, right? But obviously did not happen.
Did not happen again.
As of right now.
So E3, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Okay, as the leak was true about, it's going to be pushed back to E3.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But this puts the whole nail in the coffin of Devil May Cry 5's happening.
And I'm conflicted. I kind of feel if I end up buying this, I feel like this or even Devil May Cry 5, it'll be mostly because of nostalgia. Like, I'm not generally into these type of games much anymore. Like, they don't do much for me nowadays. Just like this type of hack and slash game just doesn't do a whole lot for me anymore.
You need a sophisticated one like Bayonetta.
Yes. I mean, honestly true, though. I mean, Bayonetta, does very interesting things with it. I don't know. I'll have to see. Just on paper, I'm not 100% sure. But, I mean, I think... I don't call me a hypocrite because I legitimately think Bayonetta is just a better game. I mean, it came out later. Well, it's, obviously...
I didn't read really into the leaks because... Obviously, I haven't played Devil May Cry, so... But I heard they're trying to innovate things. They're trying to mix things up, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
So let's move on. We had some Ubisoft game delays. Far Cry 5 is getting delayed from February 27th to March 27th, so exactly a month delay.
Not that bad.
Yeah.
I can live with it.
Yeah. So I don't think there's anything in February of note now. I guess other than Bayonetta. I can think of.
I'm sure there will be.
Yeah. The Crew 2 delayed from March 16th, 2018 to the first half of the 2018-2019 fiscal year. So I think that needed to be anywhere from April to October or something like that. Sound right? Okay. And then an unannounced game has been delayed from the 2018-2019 fiscal year to the 2019-2020
before it's even announced it's delayed.
What's the point of doing that? We wouldn't have known anyway.
You didn't have to say it.
Yeah.
You could have just done it.
Yeah. So, we got anything to say about that?
Not really.
Yeah. Far Cry 5, hey, just do what you need to do for it.
Yeah, it's only a month.
Okay.
It's fine.
We got another release date. Life is Strange Before the Storm Episode 3 is coming December 20th, Darby. Less than 2 weeks.
All right, so we got to get on this, Jeff.
Yeah. I'll probably
you're out of the finals now, so you can do it. After this coming Friday, I'll finally be able to sit down and do it.
I mean, depending, unless we want to try to get the Episode 2 thing done before this comes out, I might just wait and just play them back to back and we just do the whole thing for that.
We need to get that out. Okay. We need to get that episode out at some point at least.
I didn't know if we wanted to.
We could record them back to back. I mean, we could do that, but
I just didn't know at this point we just wanted to do them together, or do we still want to do them separate just for?
I say we do them separate.
Okay, I'll try to get to that soon then. But I'm just happy that it's all coming out within this year.
I am too. They were good.
In our Game of the Year discussions,
they didn't pull a telltale.
Yeah. So moving on. Some PS4 sale updates. PS4 has now sold 70.6 million units as of December 3rd.
Whoo-wee!
Nothing stops this train.
Nothing stops this train, Jeff.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. This comes from Sarah Needleman from Wall Street Journal. This is some NPD numbers that have come out early. Star Wars Battlefront 2 has sold 882,000 in November, retail only, while Battlefront 1 sold 1.8 million retail in its first month. 2.1 million including bundles. This game not selling that great.
No, it's not.
I think I saw what they wanted was 14 million. No, not in the first month, just overall.
Okay, I was about to say, what?
I mean, if something turns around, they can potentially hit that, maybe. I don't know, but I kind of doubt it.
I doubt it.
Because
most sales
this is November. This is including Black Friday.
This is awful. When it was going to sell.
And especially after this next number. Call of Duty World War II, retail only, sold 4.4 million.
All right, so Jeff, in the grand scheme of video game implosions and just catastrophes, how high is Battlefront 2 going to be in that? If you think the Xbox One announcement, No Man's Sky, this type of things, is this top 5? Top 10?
Maybe top 5. I feel like it might be definitely worse than No Man's Sky. But maybe not as bad as Xbox One because that's just a whole console.
And it kind of decided the fate of
this whole generation.
Of Microsoft for this entire generation. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
but it's up there.
Yeah. So a lot of people are like, so Disney's gonna try to get those Star Wars rights back. They're gonna try to get that out of EA's hands because
maybe.
Yeah.
I mean,
Disney can't be happy about this.
No, absolutely not. I think Disney definitely, regardless of the rumors not being substantiated, I mean, I think Disney was a part of the microtransactions being pulled there and everything. No, Disney cannot be happy. Like, again, we've said week after week, this was a near impossible game to screw up like this, and they did it. And they did it. They managed to do it.
I gotta imagine this game out of most of anyone this year had the biggest budget.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
For a lot of reasons.
I mean, like, licensing. I mean, like, or they have the license or whatever, so I guess that doesn't count. But anyway, I mean, it's still just DICE. Like, the engine is insane. DICE is very good at what they do. Yeah. The motion capture is insane. Yeah. Janina probably costs a lot. Lots of things. I'm sure the budget was astronomical, and it's not even going to come close to matching it. Yeah. That's for sure. And this was probably a game that EA, talking to their investors and everything, it was probably just assumed that this game is going to sell amazingly. They probably didn't even have it in their plans of a potential that Battlefront would undersell this much. I wouldn't have thought so. Yeah. If you asked me this a year ago.
I think they mentioned during the article thing or whatever I saw for this thing came from that they expect Battlefront 2 to get a little boost when Last Jedi comes out, which is... I assume there's going to be an ad for this in front of Last Jedi.
I mean, I've already seen lots of ads on TV and stuff for Battlefront.
But that's not a good sign for them.
No. I mean, it's gonna sell. It is gonna get a bump there, and just because of Star Wars, it's gonna sell at least a base amount, but nowhere near what it could have.
Kind of in the whole selfish way, unfortunately, because obviously this affects people's jobs and stuff. But as far as us as consumers, is it kind of good news to show EA, hey, this stuff is not cool. We were all worried, will sales reflect this? It has.
And I didn't think it was going to. I really didn't think it was going to. I thought that this was going to be a lot of basically hot air. I thought it was going to be a lot of people like us saying these, but then when the numbers actually came out, we were going to see that our little group complaining about this really doesn't have an effect. Yeah. But it's not the case. I feel like this is one of the rare types where they got to the point where the issues and the people voicing their complaints about the issues actually affected it to the point where some message is going to be taken from this, whether it's EA learning a lesson or EA getting their rights removed from Star Wars. Something, you can't just wipe your hands of this and not learn anything. Something's got to happen from this. So.
I'm interested to see where Battlefront 2 goes on MPDs, and I'm going to predict Call of Duty's number one.
That's retail. It always is. Always is. It always is. And I guess Battlefront had a shot of taking it this year. Not now.
Nope. There's no way.
Not a chance now.
So I guess we're moving on to the last news story, the biggest news story.
What this all really matters. I mean, everything else,
everything else is meaningless. Yeah. Darby. Jeff. Ryan Reynolds is going to be Detective Pikachu in the Detective Pikachu movie.
He is, Jeff. Deadpool is playing Pikachu in the movie.
Yes.
That is the reality, dear listener, that you live in. And just soak it all up.
Yep. I'm okay with that part of this reality.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, it's great.
This gives, I think we mentioned before, this strangely gives me more hope for this movie.
Again, if they're self-aware enough, this movie could be good. I could also still see this movie still just being a very generic kind of dumb kids movie that is fine for kids, but not for us. Yeah. But
though I will say this, there's more chance of being fine for me than you just because Pokemon, depending how they use the Pokemon elements.
Yeah.
But honestly, I saw people apparently for some people, this is the first time they heard the Detective Pikachu movie, and people were like, why aren't they just doing a normal Pokemon thing like the anime? It's that's way too much to do in a movie. That would just be weird pacing and everything.
Yeah.
I feel like this is strangely enough, one of the best ways to do a Pokemon-related movie. And I'm somewhat excited for it.
Please give Ryan Reynolds some creative freedom. Just a little bit. Please just give him a little bit of creative freedom.
Also, I think we talked about on here that cast who they wanted list was
Danny DeVito, right?
No, that's what the fans wanted. No, I was talking about legendary wanted Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, The Rock, Marky Mark.
Ryan Reynolds is probably, I think, a better choice than all of them. So
yeah, I'm somewhat imagining Ryan Reynolds playing Pikachu and the kind of character I know Detective Pikachu apparently is. Yeah. Okay, this kind of fits. I'm for this. Again, this is going completely wrong, but I have more hope this can actually be pretty decent.
Yeah. All right, Jeff. Well, any closing thoughts? We're actually at a decent time. We actually didn't go too far over. So, any lasting impressions?
Nope, I think this was a good week just for news because PSX was a little disappointing. Game Awards like far exceeded.
It's a good time
Yeah.
to be a fan of video games.
Indeed.
Video games are fun, Jeff.
They are fun.
And I like talking about them.
Me too.
So thank you guys so much for listening to us talk about video games. Be sure to check out all of our other things.
Get ready for hopefully in the next week or so we have the results for our Game Awards PSX betting thing.
Yes, maybe we'll have Will in here, or we might have to do it without him again
because school will end and he will probably go home.
Yes. Also, I haven't told you about it, but I might have my cousin come in, and we might talk about Doki Doki Literature Club.
Oh, okay. So that means I need to try to get that done.
You can if you want to be involved in it, but otherwise it'll just be me and her. So maybe look forward to that soon, because I want to talk about that game. So, yeah. Look forward to that, potentially. All right. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.